Atlantia vivere, Agartha vivere, Shambhala vivere, Lemuria vivere. There has been a historic vote in Romania and a historical win for me, for the Romanian people, and for Klaus Johannes nonetheless. And shortly after the elections, we have received a message from the American Embassy. Do you wish to know what the representative of the land of the free, home of the brave, or the land of the brave, home of the free man, wish to say to us? They said, quote, "The Romanian people wish liberty, but liberty cannot exist." End quote. So, the Illuminati are telling us that liberty and freedom cannot exist. Perhaps they are referring to the fiasco after the French Revolution, when the French king said, well, these people would realize soon enough that life is life, and what they have wrote is wishful thinking, but unfortunately that will happen a few hundred years when we'll all be dead and decapitated. So now I don't believe that life is about living in blissful ignorance all your life, or that you can have liberty and freedom all your life, or that you can live in perpetual freedom or in perpetual happiness, like in paradise with angel, like in the 4D continuum. And one of the reasons why the 4D beings are not appreciating things that are happening in 3D is because they have a much broader perspective upon things. Also, I cannot appreciate enough what is happening for me in 4D, 5D, 7D, and so on, 10D, 15D, because I also have a much broader perspective, but I thank them nonetheless. Life to all beings in 3D, life to all beings in 4D, life in happiness to all beings in 5D, life to all beings in 7D, life to all beings in 10D, life to all beings in 15D, life to all created gods in 23D, life to all beings in 36D, life to all beings in 57D, life to all beings in 91D, life to all beings in 146D, and so on. And now, so I imagine the state of hopelessness and sadness in which the most Illuminati live their lives. They live their lives believing that the only way to ensure the prosperity of the world is by total slavery, is by imposing their strict moral codes upon the entire world and expecting everyone to abide by it. Also, I know that my sister Tennis said that I do not appreciate the gifts that Americans have given to us, but it is not true. It is like in the American Revolution, when it was said that the Americans do not appreciate the gifts that the French did to them. In fact, the Americans remain eternally grateful to the French, and we remain eternally grateful to the Americans, but we have to move on. And by moving on, it means that Romania has shackled away with the past. The past is now history. All the theft, all the corruption is now history. Now we have a new president. Even the guys from PSD, the president of the Chamber of Deputies, said, now from now on forward, we have all of us have to be honest and work hard and something like that. And if my colleagues do not appreciate, I will resign, blah blah blah. Also, Ponta said that tomorrow, I mean today, they will, or maybe tomorrow because Tuesday, they begin their work on Parliament on Tuesday. They will reject the law of the amnesty. You know, Klaus Johannes, like a good German, presented himself to work today at 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock a.m. or maybe 8 o'clock or 9, I don't know, a.m. in the morning, he came and he gave a short statement. He said, yes, I agree Ponta to remain Prime Minister, but I want the budget in Parliament as soon as possible, the next budget for 2015, for the next year. I also want the law of amnesty to be rejected. He also posted a message. He sent a message to me. I'm sending messages to him. He is sending messages to me, and he said that this is not his win. This is the win of all Romanians. Blah blah blah. And I greatly appreciated that message because I also don't believe it was my win. It was the win of the Romanian people. Also, Victor Ponta, or she, Julia Flora, had a nice statement. She said, with the trembling in voice that will be much better for him or her if she or he stepped down and took care of his or her own family and blah blah blah, but he or she will choose to stay in power as prime minister, blah blah blah. And so I believe she will be a good prime minister. I believe that the other outcome for she to become president and then have a revolution of women and he burn alive or split in half is not all the way. I remember now there was a girl I loved very much, and she had a tattoo showing a vampire in bat form on her neck. On the front of her neck she had small scissors, and I asked her what those scissors for cutting her neck, and she said no, down there. And yes, I see women in Romania wearing now various sharp things at their necks, and various medallions which are actually razors. And there was a moderate reaction. Colonel Dogaro said last year on TV, and this is important, that now our friendship with America is over. We are no longer the slaves of America, and we have to seek ourselves a new master. Every moment of freedom is precious. You might be a slave now, but you remember, back 20 years ago when I was young, there were 2 days of several hours and I was free and I felt free, and it was great. And in this moment of freedom, you can accomplish great things. You can choose your life forward. You can choose your path. It is a very powerful positive energy. And the positive energy is about 1,000 times more than the negative energy, more powerful. If you emit a positive thought, it counteracts 1,000 negative thoughts that you had. Why? Because every negative thought bounces against the very nature of the universe. Having positive thoughts, going in the flow with the universe. Accepting everything in your life means going with the flow, going with the river. I remember the mindset that there is a river that is so vast that it encompasses all the people, even if some are standing aside or colliding with some branches and stopping for a moment. We are all carried out by the same river. Namaste. I am here now. In other news, Monica Macovei asked the resignation of Prime Minister Ponta for the second vote. 1 million Romanians went to vote, only 400,000 have voted. There were clashes with the police and gendarme in Paris, in UK, in London, in Rome, at Toronto, in Canada. A lot of clashes. People in Daily Mail ask and say, who paid for the voting station? Vote UKIP, UK Independence Party, because we have to. But many appreciated. We have to keep our country to ourselves. But many of them appreciated what the Romanians did. They said, well, we have several millions complacent and lazy Britons who don't want to vote at home for us, who are living abroad, and we have 43 million Romanians living abroad who are fighting with the police for the right to vote. That's great. So now, this is the truth, my friends. Goodbye. I love you all. I love you, Artemis. I know you understand me. I know you. We shall meet.